Today in the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we are going to be talking about this whole situation with Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. How this storyline is just getting out of pocket and may be the worst match of the card for WrestleMania. We're going to be talking about David Finlay winning the New Japan Cup, but when he wrestled Hirooki Goto at Sakura Genesis, he did not win the belt. We're going to be talking about that and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, episode 240, and we are live like we usually are on Sunday afternoon here on New York City on the Eastern Standard Time. But we're going to be talking about, as it's title saying, real life heat between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. According to Tiffany Stratton, she is accusing Charlotte Flair of trying to sabotage their storylines. Now, when Charlotte Flair won the Royal Rumble this past January and whatnot, my thought was, well, they are going to put her against Rhea Ripley, a trilogy that they had already. I mean, they already had two matches prior to that. Remember, we saw Charlotte Flair beat Rhea Ripley for the NXT title back in 2020 for WrestleMania. I forgot the number. Anyway, I think 38, 39, who knows? Actually, probably less than that, 37. During the COVID time. Then they had another match. WrestleMania, I believe, was 39. And won that match, I believe, was match of the year. And they brought down the house, which was a great match. And usually Charlotte Flair don't have great matches. I don't care what anybody tells me. She does not have great matches. But her and Rhea Ripley brought down the house in WrestleMania 39. Here we are. Tiffany Stratton, who right now, Tiffany Stratton pretty much is, the future of the company. She came in from NXT up to the main roster a couple of years ago when I believe she was debuted in the Elimination Chamber, Survivor Series in the War Games, and she did very well. I was very impressed. But as of lately, she has been a little bit of botch queen. They gave her the belt by her beating Nia Jax for that belt, or cashing in, whatever you want to call it. But I believe that WWE pushed her too fast. But that's what Triple H has been doing, pushing everybody fast and whatnot. And we are here to talk about that because then we had Charlotte Flair appeared in January and win the Royal Rumble. Now, again, I thought that she was going to go at it with, Rhea Ripley. Apparently not. She chose Tiffany Stratton. Now, when I saw that, I said, here comes the woman who wants to play politics behind the scene, and she's going to want to be the champion again and whatnot. So these two had a promo a couple of weeks ago, and they went off script. And everybody started saying, oh, maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe they're doing this. Maybe they're doing that. And after that promo and whatnot, I think they went off script. I believe they had the promo first, and then they went at it. That security and all that had to break them up. But during that promo, pretty much, we know that Tiffany Stratton pretty much told Charlotte Flair she's 0-3. We're talking about her marriage, and it got personal. As it got personal, the reason that Tiffany Stratton became personal because she felt that Charlotte Flair was trying to sabotage the storyline. I mean, if you look at Charlotte don't even care. She looks like, oh, why are we doing this promo? We know I'm going to win the belt and whatnot. And because of this happening, most likely Charlotte may not win the title. Now, am I mad about that? No, because Tiffany Stratton is the future of the company, but you can't have Charlotte coming back and whatnot from injury and automatically you're going to give her the belt. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they had I think Charlotte Flair attacked Tiffany Stratton in the parking lot, but let's be realistic. Does anybody care about this match? Who cares about this match? Because if you look at it, WrestleMania overall has not, the booking has been horrible. It's like they don't have, they're not putting no effort into making it like last year. Last year's WrestleMania was full of surprises. The Rock was involved. The Bloodline was involved. Seth Rollins was involved in the world title picture with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes did his story. And this year, if you look at the booking at as far as WrestleMania, it's not that great. And I mean, they had the 3-way with the women's with Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. That match is going to be very good, I think. Not that I think, I know it's going to be better than the Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Because these two women, Charlotte and Tiffany, has been botch queen as of late. Tiffany botched a couple of times, and I think in a couple of pay-per-views. And she has not been the same since she first came in during Survivor Series a couple of years ago. You know, was she doing the prettiest moonsault, whatever, and coming from the top rope, whatever the case may be. But I honestly feel that it's been crazy. Like when it comes to this match, I mean, like there's no effort on it. You know what I'm saying? And to me, what it looks like, as far as the whole story, or whatever you want to call it, it's not there. It's not grasping the crowd, and no one seems to be interested in this feud. No one cares. And I think Triple H, honestly, has run out of ideas. I think WWE as of this year, because all the stuff that happened last year, they're making it. Every time they do a pay-per-view, they broke this and they broke that. You know, they always breaking something. But what they haven't fixed that's been broken has been storylines. You know what I'm saying? It's not as this WrestleMania has cards that if I look at it, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I could go up, bring something up, which is not part of this subject, but if you look at it, why is CM Punk and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins the main event of, I believe it was night 1 or night 2, with Gunther being the world champion against Jey Uso, and why he's not in the main event? He's the world champion. There's a lot of things that's weird here when it comes to this whole WrestleMania thing. The Tiffany Stratton situation, like I said, is it going to live up to the hype? Are they going to step up the game as far as them going at it? You know what I'm saying? Because right now, this is real life heat. I mean, WWE oh my God, what's the word? Pretty much remanded, Charlotte Flair. She's the one who got in trouble because she's the elder statement. You know, she's been in wrestling for a while. You know what I'm saying? So she had to supposedly apologize and whatnot. You know. And this has been out of pocket for a while, and I don't know what's going on. I know this week she attacked Tiffany in the parking lot in Seattle. Luckily, I don't have the video where people recorded it. I had a friend of mine who lives in Seattle, and she recorded the whole situation. It's funny because after Tiffany Stratton got beat up, they didn't show it on camera. She went back inside her car. I don't know for what. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I don't see this match being no good at all. Unless, I mean, they're gonna have to prove me wrong next Saturday or next Sunday, whatever the match is gonna be at. Because right now, this whole storyline is probably one of the worst matches they are setting up, and it's real life beef. And Charlotte always have a problem with somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. She had issues with Becky Lynch years ago, and one now when she threw the title at Becky. So Charlotte's always been a problem behind the scenes because she thinks that she deserves, the accolades and all that because her father's Ric Flair. You know what I'm saying? Ric Flair never did stuff like this that I know of. I know there's stories behind that, the way he used to treat other wrestlers, but this woman thinks she's entitled of everything. So before we move on to the next subject, guys, we are live. You know what I'm saying? It's great. You guys could comment during the live stream. Check out any of our content that you may have missed. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for new uploads and whatnot. If you have missed any of our stuff, also during our live feed, feel free to ask questions during our live stream. So again, also check out all our social media as you can see on our screen. So let's move on to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, New Japan Pro Wrestling, I've been wanting to talk about this because New Japan Pro Wrestling, it's my favorite promotion. And then comes AEW. But New Japan Pro Wrestling as of late, you know what I'm saying? After Zack Sabre Jr. lost his IWGP belt to Hirooki Goto, which to me was like, what are you guys doing? You know what I'm saying? I personally felt like, how in the world are you going to take the belt away from Zack Sabre Jr. to give it to Hirooki Goto? Okay. Now I said to myself, well, maybe they're doing the New Japan Cup. They got David Finlay in it. Last year, David Finlay wasn't able to compete because of injury. Now he's probably going to win the whole thing. And he did win the whole cup. He won the whole tournament, right? But the crazy spot is he wins the tournament. I'm thinking, well, he's going to be the one who's going to dethrone Hirooki Goto, right? While this tournament was going around, Hirooki Goto had defended his belt against Hiroshi Tanahashi, an old guy, Yuji Nagata, another old guy, and then I believe he wrestled Kojima. So he wrestled three guys who already is Kojima is the MLW tag team champion, but still, and he held the MLW title, I believe. But Kojima is probably out of those three guys. Kojima was the only one who's still active to this day. Hiroshi Tanahashi is active also, but he's the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So in my head, I'm like, okay, this guy is just having the belt and just defending it against people who at one point were younger and maybe he wanted to have matches with them and whatnot. So in my head, I'm saying David Finlay is going to beat Hirooki Goto at Sakura Genesis and he's going to get the belt. Well, apparently that did not happen. Hirooki Goto ends up beating David Finlay and whatnot. I guess because David Finlay beat Hirooki Goto during, I believe, was the G1 Climax. So they did it reverse. But my thing is, who's going to be the next guy who is going to go after Goto? Because right now, as of Friday, supposedly Goto defended the belt against Shota Umino, which I don't know who won that match. I don't want to know who won that match because I want to see it. But who is out there in New Japan Pro Wrestling who could go and take that belt away from Hirooki Goto? Because it seems to me like New Japan is doing the same thing that Antonio Inoki did years ago, keeping old guards and like in front of the line and leaving all the young guys behind. And that's not a good look for New Japan, because that's what happened back in 2000, between 2005 all the way to 2007, when we saw New Japan suffer because, Antonio Inoki had this vision, and during the 2000s, 2000 all the way to 2004, New Japan was over here working with Noah, All Japan Pro Wrestling, but at the end of the day, all this back and forth, it kind of hurt the company. Their biggest rise from the ashes was when Tanahashi won the belt, and then Okada was there during the 2013 all the way to like recently, before all these guys left from New Japan. Okada, Ospreay, Jay White, Tamatanga, Tagaloa, all these guys left New Japan and left what we have now. You know what I'm saying? So who is going to step up? And Hirooki Goto as the world champion is a problem to me. It's a problem to me for the simple fact is, you come to America and you're trying to, at one point, New Japan was trying to get people to, I guess, a channel so they could see New Japan in American and United States, channels. But apparently that has not succeeded. If you look at some of their shows, like the ones in California, they don't bring a lot of people in because a lot of people, they lost interest. You lost Will Ospreay. You lost Okada, you lost Jay White, you lost most of the main guys, and now you got these young guys, Shota Umino, Sushi Yuta Sushi, who else? You got Evil there, who's the worst, like the main heel guy in there. You got Bullet Club War Dogs with David Finlay. You got all these people, but it seems like, now don't get me wrong, the events are good. Their matches are good. I just feel like you're still keeping an old guard as the world champion. Why? You know what I'm saying? They stuck in the past. And history repeats itself. They're going to find out again that it's going to happen. The same thing happened in 2005 and up, where New Japan kind of fell down a little bit, or, it was like a dark ages a little bit, and they weren't getting that trend. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where they're going to go with this as far as that, but it's kind of scary, but David Finlay is your main guy. You know what I'm saying? Your main gauging. And the gauging, what I mean is non-Japanese wrestler. Okay. He won the New Japan Cup. He should have won the cup. Because last year, I believe Yota Sushi won the cup. He didn't win the world title and whatnot. I believe at that time, was Sonata the world champion back then. I don't remember. But, they pick and choose who they want. And Tanahashi right now is the president. There's no excuse for this now. You know what I'm saying? Before, you had some Coca-Cola guy, president of New Japan Pro Wrestling, who used to be a CEO with Coca-Cola, didn't know shit about wrestling and whatnot. He's the reason why Omega left and whatnot. And now there's no excuses. There's no excuses as far as, as New Japan being where they at right now, because there's no excuse for it. You know what I'm saying? You need to push the younger wrestlers, you know what I'm saying? And whatnot. So, the other thing that could be is very interesting right now, or has got me watching it more, was the House of Torture and Bullet Club War Dogs feud. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. We see what happens, and it's going to be interesting. Now, that is it for me today, because there's really, in reality, there's not a lot of stuff going on in wrestling. Everybody's waiting for WrestleMania. So next Sunday, I will do night one of WrestleMania. And I'm going to give you my thoughts and the main things that happen, because I don't like going match by match. I probably will tell you my thoughts on it. But as far as that, I'm not going to do a prediction either. I don't like doing prediction, because to me, predictions, a lot of people don't watch prediction. People got their own opinion on stuff. All I know is I'm looking forward, as far as to WrestleMania, the matches I'm looking forward to is the number one, the Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. I want Jacob Fatu to win the belt. You know what I'm saying? The John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. I think The Rock is gonna pop out somewhere somehow, because the Rock hasn't popped out at all. So I don't know what's wrong with that. I know John Cena is supposed to come out on SmackDown, I think this Friday is his last SmackDown, whatever the case may be. So before WrestleMania, what other match I want to see? Definitely I want to see the three-way between Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. Now this whole thing, Seth Rollins talking about, you owe me a favor. Now it makes it more interesting. I don't know what's going to happen in that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Gunther and Jay Uso. That if Jay Uso wins the belt, I'm going to be pissed. If Jay Uso has this is his third match, and now you're gonna go and have Gunther lose the belt after he signed another 4 years or whatever it is with WWE. You know what I'm saying? Jay Uso, you cannot. Y'all going with this yeet shit. That shit is annoying. Yeet. That sounds retarded. Wrestling fans, they honestly they hear stuff, and what the hell does yeet mean? That's what I want to know. But people just fall for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not into that shit. You know what I'm saying? Braun Breaker should retain his belt in that four-way. I think it's a four-way or three-way. So we'll see. So, but we don't know. But anyway, guys, that is it for me today. Anybody who's on, please hit the thumbs up. Again, check out our content that you may have missed. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for new uploads and whatnot. So, let me know what's going on. Of course, guys, for the podcast store, go to for t-shirts, hats, and hoodies, go to tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. And you also, if you want to follow me on social media, find me on Facebook, Instagram, the X, and of course the YouTube channel, guys. It's subscribe. We're trying for 500. We're trying to get to 500. We're like 78 short of 500. And if you support us, that will be fine. If you want to share this with the people, that is fine too. We're also on audio podcast for those who don't have YouTube and want to do stuff at work and want to listen to our podcast. The podcast pretty much gets downloaded somewhere between tonight and Monday, so you guys can listen to it. I don't do the live podcast feed through audio. I would like to know how to do that, but I'll figure it out and whatnot. So again, this week I will be on probably with another episode. The regular, I do either Tuesday or Thursday with whatever's going on in wrestling. And of course, this Sunday coming up, we will have night 1 of WrestleMania, and we're definitely going to talk about what's going on and whatnot, and talk about what happened that night, whatever. Like I said, looking forward, like a couple of matches. I'm not the WrestleMania card is not looking good as far as the storylines, whatever. I don't care about the AJ Styles, Paul Logan. I mean, what's the angle of that? The Jacob Fatu against LA Knight, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to the 3-way between Seth, Roman, and CM Punk. The Cody versus Cena. Let's see if Cena does win the belt, because remember, a couple of weeks ago, I did a podcast where I said Cena said he's going to retire and leave WWE with the world title. They did. To me, it sounded like they took went to the files, went back to 2012, and had the CM Punk versus John Cena, where CM Punk contract had ended and he left WWE. So we'll see what happens and whatnot. But again, guys, thank you for everything. I will see you guys next week with more of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.